So after years of planning and preparation, David Beckham's MLS side has a name, and they decided to call it Inter Miami, which is a horrendous name. That sounds more like something you'd find in your local five-a-side league. But never mind, David, it's your team, you can call it what you like. Inter Miami, for Christ's sake, are scheduled to kick off their MLS career in 2020 as the latest franchise to enter the American Football League, and that's the proper football league, not the shite one with the egg-shaped ball. Inter Miami will compete against the old and the new teams in the MLS, from LA Galaxy to Los Angeles FC, from New York Red Bulls to New York City FC. But before they can play anyone, they'll need some players, so today we're putting our speculative hats on and naming 8 players who we think could play for Inter Miami in the future. Number 1, Wayne Rooney. The former England captain has just begun his MLS journey, joining DC United this summer from Everton, after a brief emotional return to his boyhood club. Rooney has shone in the MLS so far, and it's like that he'll play out the rest of his career stateside, which is why bookmakers Ladbrokes have Rooney at 5-1 to play for Inter Miami. Signing Manchester United's all-time leading goalscorer would be a real statement of intent from David Beckham's team, landing the biggest name in English football probably since Beckham. The pair did play together for England back when Rooney was a raw talent up front and looked like a future world beater, while Beckham was England captain and leading the golden generation to a grand total of 0 trophies. On top of that, the pair are massively affiliated with the Red Devils, so at just 32 years old right now, I'm willing to speculate that Rooney could swap the US capital for Miami in the future. Number 2, Usain Bolt. A one from left field, but since Usain Bolt is now trying to forge out a career as a footballer, why wouldn't the fastest man on the planet want to play for a David Beckham ran club in the States? Having hung up his running boots, Bolt is currently on trial in Australia for Central Coast Mariners, where he made his debut in a friendly earlier in September. The Jamaican recently captained the rest of the world team for Soccer Aid at Old Trafford and didn't impress too much in the charity match, maybe suggesting he's not quite cut out for professional football. But then again, teams are always going to be scared of Bolt's pacing behind. It's just a shame he doesn't understand an offside trap. But as far as big signings go, Usain Bolt is arguably one of the biggest, and the 100-metre sprinter will probably be banging on Beckham's door demanding a contract when Inter Miami kick off their MLS career. Number 3, Kieran Trippier. When the England fullback binned that free kick against Croatia, yes, I'm still going on about it, there were shades of another Englishman in David Beckham, as Trippier whipped the ball with his right foot into the top corner, just like the former Three Lions number 7 used to do back in the day. The Spurs defender has often spoke of his admiration for Beckham, admitting that the former Real Madrid man is one of his idols, having now taken on the nickname of the Berry Beckham. Trippier is currently in his late 20s and despite being at the peak of his powers, might start to consider where his future lies when he enters the twilight years of his career. And if a certain David Beckham were to call up one of England's 2018 World Cup heroes, would Trippier really be able to turn him down? I mean, we're not saying Trippier is over the hill and needs to move to the MLS, we're just speculating, and since Trippier idolises Beckham, we're putting 2 and 2 together and getting 7. Number 4, Wayne Shaw. Since Inter Miami sound like a five-a-side team, we're going to treat it as such, and every five-a-side team either rotates keepers or there's a big bugger in between the sticks, so that's exactly why we think Wayne Shaw will be lining up for Inter Miami against Murder on Zidane's floor. Wayne Shaw is best known for his pie-eating antics in the FA Cup a couple of seasons ago, where the substitute stopper was spotted getting his teeth stuck into a meat pie while sitting on the bench during Sutton United's clash with Arsenal. Piegate turned out to be a ruse though, and Shaw would resign from his role at Sutton before being fined £375 and banned for 2 months by the FA for breaching betting regulations. On second thoughts, David Beckham would probably be able to get a better keeper than Wayne Shaw, but he might be a handy backup at least. Number 5, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's currently the biggest star in the MLS, and if you believe Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he'll be playing there for a while. Maturing like a fine wine, Zlatan's body doesn't appear to be slowing down, with the Super Swede intending on playing on until he's at least 40. Currently at 36, Zlatan has been on fire for LA Galaxy, proving that he's still a larger-than-life footballer. But where does Beckham come into it? Well, the pair did play alongside each other at PSG during Beckham's brief spell in the French capital, his last club before retirement. Ibra has never wanted to shy away from the spotlight, and truly had loved the chance to become the poster boy for Beckham's latest venture, sorting Beckham's former employers LA Galaxy for the new Beckham empire set to sweep America. Number 6, Brooklyn Beckham. I mean, you just know Victoria is going to make David involve the kids, so you can just picture it now. Since eldest child Brooklyn used to play for Arsenal, he's the most likely to line up for Inter Miami CF, despite moving away from football to enter the world of fashion and photography, and other things like that. Or at least that's what I think he does according to his Instagram account. Brooklyn was part of his dad's UNICEF team when they played at Old Trafford a few years back, and might fancy another crack at the big time if Daddy will pick him, and if Victoria gets on his case, then Beck's hands are tied. Brooklyn will probably be captain and get to play wherever he wants, that's just how it works. Number 7, Lionel Messi. The Argentinian wizard is a one-club man, but will that be true for the entirety of his career? Well, if you believe Lionel Messi himself, it might not be, because you seem to hint that he'd be willing to play for Beckham's Inter Miami in the future. In a message of support for Beckham, Messi said, "Hi David, first of all congratulations. I hope all goes well with the new project and this new step you're taking, and who knows, in a few years maybe you will give me a call." Give me a call? I mean, he's basically begging to be signed up. I never considered Lionel Messi to be desperate, wow. But could a move from Barcelona really happen for Messi? I mean, why not? Legends such as Xavi and Iniesta have ended their careers away from the new camp, so why not Messi? And finally, number 8, a ringer. More often than not, your five-a-side team will be shy of a player, and you'll spend all afternoon ringing around your mates to see if anyone can make up the numbers. But when push comes to shove, you just need to get a ringer in, that lad that you see playing for a different team every week, and you wonder who he actually is. If Beckham needs some place to line up for Inter Miami, and if the Neville brothers or James Corden are unavailable, then you'll have to call in a ringer. So those are 8 players who could play for David Beckham's Inter Miami in the future, although none of them actually will, I imagine. Let us know who you think could play for them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.